Alrighty guys, it is Wednesday, November 4th, I think, maybe 5th. And today I'm off, obviously, so I'm going to be spending the day market prepping, maybe doing a little bit of sewing for Adam's costume, but mainly market prepping. I'm also working on some custom orders that I have. I just finished doing a couple rounds of this, which is the bottom of a dress for a Virgin Guadalupe, I think is what it's called. That customer is a girl in my class and she told me to take my time with it, so I'm just doing it little bit by little bit because I don't like working with acrylic very much, but I gave her the option between an acrylic or like a plush version and she liked the acrylic more, so that's what we're doing. I also have a turkey car hanger to make. This is a repeat customer. It's someone I do theater with, but she ordered a Halloween car hanger. I'll show you right here. And now it's past Halloween, so I'm making her a Thanksgiving one as well. So I'll be doing that. Then I'm going to work on some mini leggy froggies, mini gators, a chicken, and then I'm going to retest out the kitten pattern for like the loaf cats because I've been doing like the mid-size and I still think those take too long. Like, this is the mid-sized dog, and I just feel like it still takes forever. It's a little husky, and I love it. I love the way that it looks. But I'm gonna retry the like tiny pattern again and see if I like it. I just didn't like the way it came out the one time that I did. So if I just don't like it again, then we'll stick with the mid-sized ones. I just am trying to make better use of my time, I suppose. So, and my list of things to crochet for this market keeps changing because I'm like, oh, I don't need that many, or let me just take that off. They don't sell very well. So I'm kind of just flying by the seat of my pants right now, but we're okay. So that's what we're doing today. And I'm watching Mindhunter. And I'm hoping that Adam will make me a chili tonight because he's at golf right now, and I was thinking earlier how good a chili sounds with some saltines. Delicious. But we'll see. Anywho, that is that. And this is reminding me a long time ago I made a crochet with me video, and it was Star Wars edition, and I'm pretty sure I sat right here and filmed that video. So it's just, I'm feeling nostalgic. Okie dokie, it's been a ridiculously long amount of time, and the only thing I've done is the turkey swing. His little thingy is a little crazy, but it's not my favorite thing I've ever made, but he's cute. So now I'm going to move on to the mini leggy froggies and then probably the gators. Sorry if my camera's a little crooked. It's my tripod. Anywho, it is now probably 2:30ish, and I wanted to go over with y'all real quick some of the stuff that I've done today. I made 2 chicken bodies, accidentally in a smaller size than all the other chickens that I made, but I'm gonna embroider eyes on these so I have some baby safe ones. I did a green fish, a gator, 2 mini leggy froggies, one of which I had to make really small because, oh wait, not that one. This one. Because I ran out of yarn. And I embroidered their eyes, they look creepy. I did the turkey, of course. I did a mama maple nest, or just a maple nest, and then a baby mini maple nest. And I think the last thing I've done today is this little kitty. This is the mini size, and this worked out much better than the last one I did. I think I just used too small of a hook, or the yarn was just not the right texture because like the nose poked out. I don't know, it just looked really weird. So I'm gonna go ahead and stick with this size just because it was a lot faster. Okay, what I'm gonna do now I think is something fun, I suppose, or just something that's not necessarily market prep. Just because I want to. I want a little break. We're gonna end up having people over for supper, I believe. So I don't know how much I'll get done during and after that. Maybe, I mean, I can probably crochet while they're here. They're our close friends. But yeah, so I'm gonna try to find something to do, and then I will update y'all later. Okay guys, I'm doing this kind of vlog style right now because I don't feel like putting this on my tripod, but it is Thursday evening. I have a market on Saturday. I really need to finish up my market prep. I kind of have a list of things I want to finish and kind of don't. I don't really care what I finish, but I also want to get a bunch of stuff done. So it's crunch time. I'm going to try to knock out several things tonight if I can, and then tomorrow I have to do a bunch of stuff. I have to try to get maybe a bunch of stuff for the market on Saturday, and then I want to try to work on some of the sewn items that I have like halfway completed, just so I can get those away from my craft room and finished. So right now I'm working on mini loaf dogs and loaf cats, and then after that I think I'm going to start working on some of the Fable animals, like the dolls or turtle parts. I'm not really sure, but I'm gonna queue up some scary movies and get to business. Alright, I've made some progress. I made an orange and white cat with yellow eyes. I kind of freestyled the spots, as you can tell. It's not the most aesthetically pleasing, but oh well. And then I made this kitty with a white spot, blue eyes, and this, like, it's not even ombre. I really like the way this turned out. I think that the variegated? Yeah, the yarn. It just turned out really good. I did 2 little white feet on the bottom too. But now that I'm sitting here thinking, so the only thing I have left now is a dog, but I'm pretty sure that I already have another mini dog done. Because what had happened was, I think that I have 2 like bigger dogs done, or a bigger dog and 1 little dog. I don't know. Hold on. Well, before I go put some of this stuff away, I'm going to give y'all a little rundown of whatever I have in my completed basket right now. So I have the 2 cats that I just showed you. We have this doggy. And this one with some green eyes. Super cute. And then I have this big kitty. With a white foot. And that's all of those. I lied. I have 1 more kitty here with this other variegated yarn, but I only used that. I didn't do any spots or anything on it. It has a tiny nose, and these ones have big old fat noses, but Oh, it'll be fine. So those are done. Now I have a possum, a rat. I have an orange triceratops with green eyes. A blue triceratops, oops, he's flat, with embroidered eyes. I have a light green, or a kind of foresty sage green, a forest dark green, a neon green, and this other like pine tree, Christmas tree-ish green alligator. So I got faux gators. I have this fox. These are the other little fable things I was talking about making. Some more of these. I still don't feel like it looks like a fox. Something just looks off about it. Maybe it's the ears. I don't really know, but one of those. I have some other random stuff. Oh, here's my big dog, the husky. And I just can't remember if the other dog I have is the bigger size or the smaller size. So, if it's not a small, I guess I'll just have 2 big ones and maybe make another big cat to make it even, but I don't know. It's not that serious, but I make it that serious because I'm ridiculous. I have another triceratops in here that's red. I have a ferret with a soup belly. I have 3 fish, 2 axolotls. I need to make one more, I suppose. I have 6 mini leggy froggies, some with embroidered eyes that aren't my favorite, but I wanted to have stuff for babies. I have apparently a tan chicken body that I need to stuff, and a white chicken body that I need to stuff and finish. I have a completed black chick. I have a maple nest, a mini nest, and then I have 3 other chicks that I need to finish with white fluff on their heads. When I go to check about this other dog, which I will update you all in just a second, I'm going to drop off all of the things that I have that are finished so I can empty this bin and hopefully start refilling it. I don't know how much I'm going to be able to get done, but, you know, one can always hope that, you know, it's a productive evening. I've had my coffee for the night. We'll see if that works. Sometimes it does not. And go from there. So, that is the plan for the evening. And tomorrow, obviously. I've said this multiple times, but you get the gist. Okay, I fear that was another, like, large version. It actually wasn't. The patterns, like, there's a dog, a puppy, and a mini. And the ones I'm calling larges are the puppies. They're not the actual big ones because those take entirely too long for me personally to be worth market prepping. That's why I stuck to the minis, but the other one is a large. So I need to do one more mini, and then if I do a bigger cat, I'm going to do it tomorrow because I want to get on to bigger and better things. It's 8:30 p.m. So I'm going to do this last dog, then I'm going to do the last axolotl, and then see if there's anything else like small that needs to be finished up. Can't think of anything off the top of my head, but I'm not sure. So that's the plan. I'm also going to go in and update my inventory thing to make sure that it's up to date. Okay, sorry the lighting is bad over here. It's just easier for me to have my tripod set up over here. But I finished the last dog. It's supposed to be a pug. He has a little curly tail, but the face just doesn't look, I don't know. There has been something wrong in my brain with every single one of these, so we'll see how well they sell. If they do well, then I guess everybody just likes derpy animals. If they don't, then we'll stop making them. But now I'm moving on to the axolotl, so I'm going to do these 2 colors because I had them sitting nearby and I think they're super pretty. And then I may make some turtle parts from these because I think I'm going to do a turtle in this color scheme as well. It's currently 9:21. I still feel pretty decent. The dog is absolutely ready to go to sleep. My animals know my routine, and I'm an old lady, so I'm usually in bed way before right now. And so both of them have come over here and very obviously been like, "Hey Queen, when are we going to sleep?" So they're just gonna have to thug it out tonight. I even got Poppy a little blanket on the floor that she lays on every now and then. Right now she's kind of halfway on, halfway off, but I'll have to show her to you. Resting comfortably on my sock. There's her toy over there. Toys in her blanket. axos done, and I love this color scheme. I'm honestly so excited to make a turtle like this. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and make the turtle parts and then just see if there's some momentum there to continue. I want to make 3 more sea turtles and 3 more what I call land turtles, but it's just like tortoises, I suppose. I don't know. And I generally do them to match the big turtles, so we will see where that takes me.
Just a minute. You see, there she is. Now, remember, be gentle, kind, charming, sweet. And when she opens the...
Alright, I feel like every time I come back I just look more and more disheveled. But here's my update. It is 11:37. So I showed y'all the pug and I showed y'all the axolotl. So we have 3 mini turtle shells. I have this like forest green color I showed y'all earlier on the gators. Green. And then we got this light blue. And then we got this periwinkle-ish color. What is this called? The actual color is called periwinkle. Okay, so we have those. And then we have this sand, all the legs and the head with some green eyes. And this color is going to go with the dark green shell. Then we have this like off-white color with purple eyes. And that's going to go with this blue shell. I was going for kind of a Squirtle color, but I feel like the periwinkle was a little closer, but oh well. And then we have this teal color, legs and head, with of course the periwinkle. And I did embroidered eyes on this one. These are really all the parts I can prep ahead of time because I'm due the tiny turtle, and the tiny turtle bodies, like the head immediately goes into the body, so technically I could prep the heads, but then I'd have to keep the yarn connected, or it's just easier to keep it connected, and that's just too much clutter. And then the shells of the big turtles, technically I could start, but once again, like, there would just have to be yarn connected to make it easier. So I still did a lot more than I anticipated, or like I thought I would do, because every night I sit down and I have these goals for myself and then I never meet them because I'm so tired so early. But I finished my dogs and cats tonight for the most part, except for that one other large cat, which we'll see how I feel tomorrow. I finished my axolotls. I finished my turtle parts, which I wasn't anticipating even doing turtle parts until tomorrow, so I'm shocked. The only dilemma I see coming up is that this is all of the black safety eyes I have left. And I have 2 more sets over here that I'm using for 2 of the tiny turtles tomorrow. So I probably won't even end up using all of those, but if I do, I have to be meticulous on, or picky on which items I want to use them on, which I want to do embroidered eyes, and I do have some 12mm glitter eyes left, but they're only in like 2 colors. I think it's like pink and blue, dark blue. So there's that. But tomorrow I'm going to finish the turtles. I really want to do the Fable dolls, but I feel like those are going to take forever. I really want to do another fruit cow, because I have like a pink lemonade one. And then I'm not really sure what else I want to do tomorrow besides maybe my sewing stuff. But when I go lay down in bed, I'm going to bring my iPad with me and update my inventory to see if there is anything else that I was wanting to do that I just haven't gotten around to. And we'll knock that out tomorrow. It's 11:30 or 11:45 at this point, so I don't know how late I'm going to sleep in because of my schedule and being so busy. I usually am up at like 6-ish anyways, maybe 7. So I plan on getting up relatively early and just getting a start on the day, so that way I have as much time as possible, because we may have to run a few errands tomorrow. Tomorrow night I have to really update my inventory on Square and tag all my items, because it's just something I like to do. Possibly have a mock setup, and yeah, so I just have a lot I need to get done. And the sewing stuff does take a while. I have a whole stack over here like this big probably of pre-cut items. There's like already has the interfacing cut out and attached, already has the batting cut out. I literally just have to sew everything together and put on like zippers and Velcro and stuff. I have just taking my sweet time getting around to it. If I really have time, my hair's crazy. If I really have time, I don't know. This is adventurous and probably won't happen. But the fabrics that I have already cut out are like summery fabrics. And so if I have time, maybe I can go get like one fall fabric. But considering how long it always takes me to cut everything out, I don't think that's going to be feasible. So, anywhoosies, I'm going to drink an Alka-Seltzer because I kind of feel some heartburn happening. Go to bed and update my inventory, and I'll see y'all in the morning. Alright friends, good morning. This is why I don't like to film from this angle, it's better lighting, but I have to lean over to talk. So it is 7:34. I knew I was going to get up decently early, but I woke up at literally 4:59, having to use the restroom. Was up for like 30 minutes, went back to sleep, and then at like 7:12, my husband's phone rang, which woke me and the girls up. So here we are. Just got my studio ready for the day. It's quite an extensive process at times to get decent enough lighting in here to be able to function. So I think right now I'm going to start on the turtles and just get those going, and then whenever he wakes up I kind of want to go get Starbucks because I haven't had it in a while. And I don't think I need to go to the craft store today. I'm sure I could come up with a reason to go, but off the top of my head I can't think of one. So anywho, we're gonna get started. At some point I'll change out of my pajamas today, but I'm just really enjoying not having to be in scrubs. So also, this skein of winter white has been, I don't want to say horrendous to work with. When the Premier Basic Chenille whatever has a bad skein, it's still much better than the old formula of Bernat Blanket, but it's just very scratchy. It gets caught on the hook easily and isn't very stretchy, so it's kind of a pain to work with. Like I feel like I like physically have to work to do the crochet, but I'm managing. But I'm gonna go ahead and knock this one out first, the mini turtle, so that way I don't have to use it anymore. We're once again at this weird angle, but this seems to be the best to get the whole view of me. I have finished the turtles, so we have this color scheme. We have this color scheme. I did do a little one with embroidered eyes as well. And lastly, we have this color scheme. So those are all done now. I went back through my list of things to do, and I think what I'm going to do actually before that is I have like a Coraline doll that I need to finish the jacket on that has been sitting for a few months now, so I'm going to try to finish that up and then probably do the last loaf cat and maybe see what we're working with regarding the animal dolls. But actually, I take that back. I'm going to do a fruit cow, then look at the animal dolls. But also, I think I have this like fall dragon pattern And not saying dragons have become kind of my staple, but they kind of have. So I feel like it's only, like, I should absolutely have a dragon at my market. So, but those take forever. Sure. Who knows if I'll actually do that one today, because I do still want to sew later. And I don't even know if I have enough yarn to do one. Autumn Earth Dragon. Yeah, I do not have enough for this. I already own the pattern, but my Hobby Lobby does not sell like the velvety yarn in this brown. So that's something I'd have to order, which really sucks because, I mean, I feel like I probably have several dragon patterns, but a lot of them use that like really skinny or skinnier yarn than my chenille basics. And I also don't, most of my colors I have 3 skeins of, and I don't want to end up using all 3 on one item, you know, because I have to order it. Anyways, let me go get that Coraline. I'll show y'all real quick. Actually, I need to download the pattern. I'll show y'all what I have done on her, which is pretty much everything, like I said, except for finishing her hood. I ran out of Bernat, and obviously we all know how difficult it's been to get Bernat yarn lately. So, well, at least it has for me. I've had to order it off of Amazon, and it takes forever. And then I end up having to, like, order it in bulk because they just don't have one skein at a time. And then also we run into the problem of not getting the right color. So I also kind of did a little what's the word, rebrand. Not really, but I needed a new banner because my old banner has QR codes on it that do not work, and my business cards, it's the same thing. So I did a little rebrand to have more of like a simplistic banner, take the QR codes off, and I'll show you all that in just a second when I can figure out where the heck this freaking pattern is. I'm having to like search it up through my purchases. Sorry, you can hear my husband in the background. I'm just gonna keep talking. You know, now that I'm looking through all this, Etsy should have an option when you check out, if you've already bought a pattern, to not let you check out again. Or at least give you a heads up. Okay, I thought I had it written in my pattern where I stopped, but I do not. I actually think that I have it in a note on my phone, so I'm going to look at that up real quick. And then this is what my new banner is going to look like. And then my business cards pretty much look the same, and on the side they just have like my website name, my social media handles and stuff. So, yep. Alright, so here's my Coraline. She's super cute. She's covered in hair. She needs to be lint rolled, but that'll take place before our market, obviously. She also has this little bag. Boom, her little satchel. And then this is how much of the hood that I have done, but I did find the note on my phone that says where I stopped at, so that shouldn't be too hard. This is the color Sun Soaked by Bernat Blanket. It's very soft and easy to work with. And then after that, I've picked out the color scheme that I want for my cow. So I'm going to be doing like this pattern. Let me see if I can find you a better one. Like this pattern where the ears and the head and the hooves are the special color. And then there's like one row of it off color and then the main body color. But I'm going to be doing probably this daisy bag with it. And the colors I picked are white for the main body color just because I have enough Bernat. Why are you judging me? Like I said, I don't want to use up all my Premier yarn making stuff, and it's a decent sized cow. And then this is the specialty color we're doing, this tie-dye. This is in daisy chain. And then the like one little round of a different color is going to be this pink, which is cotton candy. So those are my next 2 big plans. And I'm also rewatching the entire Conjuring series because it's like my favorite series, horror series of all time. And it'll take me all day to watch, so that's what we're doing. Also, I don't think I updated you, but we went to Starbucks earlier, and I got my vanilla sweet cream cold brew with gingerbread cold foam and gingerbread syrup. And it's pretty good. It tastes like Christmas. We're out of peppermint, and that's my go-to, so this is what we settled on today. And Adam got a salted caramel cold brew. Alright, we're about to move on to, I think the next movie is Annabelle Creation, Annabelle Beginning. I don't know. Hold on. And we started with The Nun #1, then it goes Annabelle Creation, The Nun #2, and then Annabelle. So we're about to move on to Annabelle Creation. I finished the hoodie. I made a oopsie. You see how big this is? I gaslit myself into thinking that I used a size 7 hook, so her hood is just really big, but I think it's super cute. I like it a little oversized. So she's finished, but the change is the tie-dye color that I was going to use for my cowl. For whatever reason, there's like brown in the middle of it. And there's like, that's recurring throughout random parts. It isn't just that one spot, and I think it throws off the colors a lot, so I don't really want to use that. So I found this one, which is called In Harmony. It has like purples and yellows and blues, and I think this one will still be super cute. It is the tie-dye line. And then my opposing color for that, it's still going to be a white cow, but I think I'm going to do a light yellow, because I think that would go well. I still have the pink over here, but I do like this one. And then if for whatever reason there's something wrong with this tie-dye, we're going to go with this neon one called Groovy Glow. And then probably I would do a bright pink with that, but hopefully this one works and everything goes fine. I just wanted to give you all a little update. I know a lot of the times my crochet vlogs there's not a lot of talking, so I've been trying to update y'all with the process and how everything's been going as it comes up, so. So I took a break after I finished my cow. So cute. I went and picked up my business cards, which you saw, and my poster, which you saw. And I think now, honestly, I'm just going to switch to my sewing stuff because I have literally all of this. We're also moving on to The Nun 2, I believe. And I apparently only had a few of these things like fully prepped, where I had like all the lines ironed in to like quilt over to give them the quilted look. So that's what I'm gonna do right now, is try to finish up doing that, so that way all I have to do going forward is like putting everything together. Okay, another change in plans. We went to dinner with some friends and it is currently 7:30, so I'm just not gonna have enough time to finish my sewing stuff tonight. So I'm just gonna go back to crocheting. I need to finish up 2 chickens and put the fluff on 3 of the baby chicks. I'm shooting fireworks or getting shot, who knows. Anywho, so I'm gonna do that, and then after that, I don't really know. I'm not gonna do the other, like, loaf cat. And then part of me doesn't even want to try to do the other, like, animal dolls because it's 7:30. I honestly might just finish this up and then work on my inventory and tagging everything and then just call it there. I was originally going to go play games tonight, but I don't know what game I want to play. I always have that problem. I get on with the intention of, like, playing something, and in the time it takes to figure out what I want to play or to reinstall it, I decide I don't want to play, and then I get off and play on my phone all night. So maybe I'll find something big that I want to work on for the rest of the evening. I don't really know, but we'll figure it out. So that's what I'm going to be doing for now. We're still on The Nun 2, and I think it's another Annabelle movie after this, but I can't remember. My dog just ate it. No, puppy. Psst. Ah. Get your mouth off of that. Puppy. No. I don't think so. Life is so hard for a dog. Okay, so here's a very quick spread of all the stuff that I have for the market. I have some Flower Pals, turtles, pickles. I have a bunch of one-off stuff. So I have a Ditto, R2D2, Candy Corn B, 1 Axolotl, a BMO. I have 2 of these Wisps. Boom. I have a Mushy Boy with no eyes. I have 2 dolls, 2 carrots, a chicken nugget, a Pop-Tart, 2 blueberries, Sebastian, 4 Octos, 2 gummy bears, 1 flower, 2 wristlets. This candy corn I made years ago. This is kind of one-off stuff. I have, like, my wizard cat, an orc, some cows, bugs, mini leggy froggies, gators, dinos, pigs, cows, possum and rat, chickens, axolotls, fish, cats and dogs, ferrets, birds. Random stuff up here. So I'm going to make sure all of this is in my square, and then I have this bag with some random completed stuff in it that I'm going to go through in just a second and see if there's anything else we can throw in there. And then in that bag we have all of my sewn stuff, which I've already put in square and made sure I had correct pricing. I just don't put price tags on all that stuff. I just have little signs that I tape to the bins. Also, we're on the Annabelle movie now. It's just Annabelle, so yeah. Also, some of this stuff I haven't changed the price on, and it has tags on it, so I'm just going to keep those and go ahead and throw them in the bin. Okay, good news. We are down to literally just the last 9 items, which is the puppies and the kitties, and I just have to put the tags on, throw them in the bag, and then we're good to go, besides me checking that bag for other stuff that I can sell. We're on to the first Conjuring movie, which is exciting because it's my fave. I mean, I like all the Conjuring movies. I don't want to say except the newest one because I haven't seen it, but the one before that was a little questionable, but my dog's going crazy. Anywho, that's our update. It is 9:52, so it's getting past my bedtime. So once I finish this, I think I'm just gonna try to get everything together, like in the garage for tomorrow. Our garage lights aren't working, and some of my market stuff in there is like strewn about. It's all in the same place, but I don't really think I'm gonna mess with it tonight because it's dark, and I don't want to have to hold my flashlight in one hand and then try to deal with stuff in the other. But I have some stuff that I can show y'all before I go to bed. And I kind of gave you a brief overview of the table. I guess maybe tomorrow I'll do like I won't have time. Okay, maybe Sunday. I will do a recap for you and tell you what I brought versus what I sold. We will see, no promises. But anywho, I just want to give you all a little update. Okay, before I start hauling stuff out to the garage, these were those little things I was going to show you. Also, all I dug out of that other bag was some pumpkin coasters that I've had since the first year I started selling, so if they go this year, it'll be a fall miracle. Anywho, we have fish bowls for the axolotls and the fish. We have these little boxes that are open in the front. Let me see if I can open one up to show y'all. It looks kind of silly, but boom. A little carrier for the animals. That took a long amount of time to get that situated, so I'm gonna have the boys work on those tomorrow in anticipation of maybe people buying the cats and the dogs. I'm not sure how that's gonna go. And then I made some what I call critters, which are just bugs, and I ordered some terrariums for them, but they don't fit because they're extra small terrariums. So I'm just gonna offer like the fish and the axolotls in them as well, just in case, because I already spent the money on them. So this is how big they are. Boop. So we shall see. I mean, well, the only critter that will fit in one is the caterpillar, and it's really squished in there, so it's not ideal. I do have some like sea animals that I know would fit, but they were for a custom order that like they never paid, but I also never like told them that everything was almost done, so I would feel guilty selling them, but at the same time, extra money, you know, but whatever. And then I have clear shopping bags because I'm trying to jump on the bandwagon of like people walking around with bags. Someone's like, oh, where's that, you know? So we'll see how that goes. But anyways, that's all that. I'm like starting to get mildly concerned that all of this isn't going to fit in my car along with my husband. I don't know if my other friend is coming with us or what, but I guess we'll just have to see. That's that. I don't anticipate doing much else this evening besides going and laying in bed. My stomach is kind of upset. So I'm gonna bring these 2 giant body bags of stuff, if you will, to the garage along with this box. See if I can kind of wrangle everything together in there, and then get ready to go to bed, and then wake up bright and early and get everything else situated because I don't feel like doing the rest tonight. Alrighty guys, it is the next day, so it's Sunday the 16th of November. So I'm going to go over real quick all of my sales with y'all. It was a very successful market. I am kind of shocked because a lot of the things that usually sell well didn't, and vice versa. And I've just noticed that's a trend. Like, you never know. I could go to the same market 4 times and the most popular item be different every single time. So it was interesting to say the least, and I definitely had enough product. I didn't sell out of anything except for one item, but I only bought 2 of those things. So I don't feel so bad about taking it easy and trying not to stress myself too much about it, but I'm also excited that I still have a decent amount of stuff for my next market in a month. I am not going to show pictures because I did a little overview of my table, and I don't want to dig out all my stuff right now. My dog will snatch it up. So I'm just going to read off what I sold, and of that, like how many I brought with me, and then the price of everything. Starting at the top, we immediately off the rip sold 2 ferrets to one of the other vendors. I only brought 2 ferrets with me. They were both like variations of brown and white, and each one was $22. So that was $44 right off the rip at the very beginning of the market. So I was already excited about that. I was kind of bummed because to me, I was super excited for people to see the ferrets because they stand up on their own, but it's all right. I still made a sale. So then I brought 6 tiny turtles, and I sold 3 of them, each with a terrarium. So the turtles themselves are $5 and the terrariums were an extra $2 just because they were pretty expensive to get. I then brought 3 axos. I sold 1 with a terrarium. The axo on its own is $7 and the terrarium is $2, so that's $9 total. I brought 2 pigs and sold 1 for $5. I just recently dropped the price on these because I've been trying to get rid of them, so slowly but surely we're working on it. I brought 4 chicks, each for $1, and I sold 3, along with 1 nest, which I sold for $2, and both eggs, which were $2 each as well. I brought 3 flockers, the birds. I brought a cardinal, a blue jay, and a pigeon, and all 3 sold. So I guess I did sell out of more than one thing, but those sold for $10 each. I brought 3 loaf kittens, and I sold 2 for $10 each. I brought 4 octos and sold 2 for $5 each. It's another thing I'm trying to get rid of because they were super popular when I started crocheting, and then ever since they just haven't been selling, so I'm not gonna continue to make them anymore. I sold my sting ramen, which I've had with me for over a year now. It was $45, and this market I decided to decrease it to $40, and it sold immediately. So that was exciting. I had a little candy corn made out of acrylic yarn that I made 4 years ago, and I priced it for $1 and it sold. I brought 2 blueberries for $5 each, sold 1. Also trying to get rid of my foods because they're not very popular. I like the concept of like children's play food, but I don't think that people see it the way that I do. You know, I don't know if play kitchens are even a thing anymore. All these kids got iPads and stuff, but I don't know. I always thought they were cute, but they're not very popular, so I won't be wasting my time making plain crochet food anymore. I brought 4 flower pals. I sold 2 for $10 each. I brought a mini shroomy with no eyeballs, which I'm pretty sure I talked to you about the other night, and I priced it at $1 because I ain't messing around anymore. I'm trying to get rid of it, and it sold. Y'all don't see a lot of my sewn items. I think you could see them on the table whenever I did my little display thing yesterday, but I have a box of like oopsie items from when I first started sewing, or ones that just didn't come out very well, and there were 2 Kindle sleeves in there, and one of them sold for $5, and it was, I think, a mushroom pattern. I brought 4 triceratops and sold 1 for $10. This next one I'm super excited for. So I have dog bandanas that match like human scrunchies and human bandanas, or I just call them headscarves to differentiate between the 2. And no, everyone breezes right over them. Most of the time people breeze over my sewn stuff anyways, but I think the thing that helped me was that this market was big enough, like my space was bigger than a 10 by 10 booth, so I could make it where they can walk in and actually browse everything and not kind of feel overloaded by it. And so I brought my 5 normal headscarves I've been bringing since I started sewing, and 2 of them sold to the same person for $12 each. I was so excited. She ended up messaging me on my business Facebook later on telling me that she got it to work, because she was going back and forth about whether to get it because she can't ever get them to work and like look right. And I said, well, I think, you know, the people who it looks good on just don't care what it looks like, and then it looks fine. And so she texted me that she just threw it on to see what happened and didn't care how it looked, and then it ended up working out. So I'm very excited about that, because I was like, you're the only person that's ever even looked at these. You can try them on. I don't care what you do. Just like Thank you so much. I brought 6 sea turtles because they are very popular and only one sold at this market, which I think is strange. I feel like I sold more than that, but in my little book where I keep track of everything, it only said 1, and this is what I'm going off of right now. I didn't re-inventory my stuff yet. But it sold for $20. I brought 7 chickens and I sold 2 for $12 each, along with 2 chicken nests and I sold 1 for $4. I brought 1 loaf cat. So earlier I talked about bringing 3 kittens. That was the mini size that I was talking about. The loaf cat was that next size up, the medium, which I think in the patterns is the kitten one, not the mini, and not the cat, to make things more complicated. Anywho, I brought 1, it sold for $15. I brought my Coraline doll and it sold for $60. That was very exciting as well, because between that and the Sting Ramen, that's $100 right there. So I was like, yes. The big items, usually people are like, oh no, I can't spend that, but these people did not hesitate. The lady that bought the Sting Ramen just told me to take the tag off of it because she didn't want her husband to know how much they spent on it. I brought 2 loaf dogs. Once again, this is not the mini, but the puppy size, and I sold 1 for $15. I brought those 6 mini leggy froggies and sold 3 for $5 each, and I think both of the ones with the embroidered eyes got bought, which is crazy because they were funky looking. I have to admit, they were funky looking, but they sold. I brought 3 pickles in my jar and sold 1 for $8. I think it was the light green pickle. And last but not least, I brought 1 rat and I sold it for $14. Rats are also very popular in my booths usually, and if I just had more time, I would have made more, but I made and sold 1, so there's that at least. So overall, I made about $430, which I'm not complaining about at all, because for the first 2 years of doing markets, I think that I never really made over like $250 at a market. So for halfway prepping, I don't feel like this was bad. So that is going to conclude this very long video. I hope you enjoyed. I'm sure that most of you that subscribe for this kind of content are excited that you're getting some more. I have more markets coming up in December, so I plan on making a couple more market prep videos. So stay tuned for those. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye guys.